Rachel, and I'm excited to be here today to talk to you guys about executive, everything executive, how to get there, what requirements you have to get there, the steps to take, how to keep it, and then what's your next step? Like, where can you go after executive? The world is the limit. It's kind of exciting. So let's start with talking about the requirements you have to do to begin to become executive. Actually, you know what? Let's backtrack. Before we talk about the requirements, you probably want to know why you want to become an executive. The reality is money. When you become executive, your income increases, your commissions. Before executive, you're getting 5% in commissions. After executive, you can make between 9 and 20% commissions. So that pretty much quadruples your potential income. So why wouldn't everyone want to be executive, right? I know I do. I love being exec. Okay, moving on. So we talked about why you want to become an executive, because your income goes from 5% to 9 to 20%. And now we're going to talk about the requirements. There's basically three things you need to do to begin your process of becoming executive. Three things that, if you do these three things, you will become exec. The first is that during the qualification period, you need to have 250 points of personal sales volume. So that means you and all your retail customers, all the people you've sold product to directly, and everyone who's purchased on your front line, that's your personal sales volume. You all have to be over 250 point value. Now, when you are executive, it changes a little bit, so we'll talk about that in a second. But this is to become executive. So you have to, before you can even think about becoming executive, like, oh, I want to be executive, these are the things you have to begin to do right now, because you have to qualify. To qualify, you have to have these. So your first month, you have to have 250 in personal sales volume and 1,000 in total group sales volume. So and of that group sales volume, it can include your own 250. So let's talk about what that looks like. This is you. Okay, there you are. And you have some people underneath of you that you're selling to. Here's Gemma. She's one of your good friends, and she's underneath of you. And then you have a couple people that are buying from you regularly, and they're on ADR. Another reason why you definitely want people to be on ADR. When you get to this point, it makes it a lot easier when you have, say, 10 to 15 customers on ADR. So just assume that this is like 10 people. And let's put your grandma up there or somebody else. Okay, so this is your circle. Everything that you sell to this circle is your personal sales volume. So you've got to have 250 point value to begin the process of executive. In addition to that, you have to have group sales volume of up to 1,000 point value. So that's Gemma has people underneath her. You get to include that in your group sales volume because she's part of your circle for right now. So you've got Gemma and she's got people underneath her, and together you make 1,000 group sales volume, and you have your 250. Next, you need to send in a letter of intent. It's literally a formal letter that you need to send into them. You can do that online. So you want the letter of intent, and that basically tells them, I am committed to this. I am on my way to being an executive. And it gives us as leaders knowledge to invest in you and say, okay, what can we do? Let's spur you on. Let's make this happen. So you have to 250 in your personal sales volume, 1,000 group sales volume total. It can include your 250. And then you also have to do your letter of intent. That's the first month. Your second month, you need to up it. We started at 1,000 points in your group sales volume. The next month, you can still have 250, but your next month, you have to have 1,500 in your total group. Okay, so that means you all have to be growing a little bit. Gemma's got another person under her. You're growing a little bit. So you wanted to go from 1,000 point sales volume to 1,500 in your second month. In your third month, you need to go to 2,000 point sales volume in your third month. And then you've qualified an executive. So after you've done that, you've still had your 2,000 total group sale volume, And of that, at least $250 of it, 250 points, it's almost dollars, right? 250 points of that is your personal line, okay? And you have 2,000, that after you've done that for 3 months, after your 3rd month, you now are an executive. Now, if you want to fast track it and you want to do that really, really fast, it's totally doable and totally awesome. And it sounds daunting, but it really, really isn't. It's totally doable. You can sell $4,500 in 1 month and become executive in 1 month. Sounds like, oh my word, that's $4,500. What in the world? But really, that's only 12 age lock kits. So if you sell 3 age lock kits a week, you're good. So think of it as a numbers game. So anyways, so if you want to do it in 1 month, you can. And once again, for $4,500, you would need 250 points of that to be your personal sales volume of your circle, okay? So you can't have like one business builder just go crazy and you just live off of that. It doesn't quite work that way. So now you've become executive, right? Now that you are executive, the requirements change just a little bit. Instead of that 250 point value for your personal circle, you now need to maintain 500. So your circle just has to have 500 in its points in personal sales volume for you to maintain executive. Okay, so now you've got $2,000 point value in your group, and of that 500 is yours. But let's say you want to grow. You're now making 9% interest rate. 9% interest rate. Now you're making 9% commissions, because before you're executive you make 5%, and now that you're executive you get to make 9%. But it gets cooler than that. If Nu Skin realized that people who are in the business and that have a group sales of more than 3,000 tend to be a stronger and more stable company, a more stable business person. So they want to reward that stable person, that stable growing person, with extra incentives. So they give us a total of 10% if you have over 3,000 in your group sales, plus a bonus of 5%. So you make 15% then on your commissions on your group sales volume. That's huge. From 5% to 15%, that's a big jump. And that's really why you want to become executive as fast as you can, because the money is just a percentage, is just a lot more, it's a lot different. Okay? So now this is your group, right? So you're making between 9 and 15% as an executive, and up to 20% actually. You can make up to 20% as an executive. Let's say you're wanting to move on from there and you want to grow even farther. Let's duplicate yourself. Let's make Gemma, see if you can have Gemma become an executive. When Gemma becomes an executive, she leaves your circle. So you're still going to want your 2,000 or 3,000 personal sales group sales volume to be in your circle, because Gemma left your circle. But let's replace her with, say, Allie. Allie goes under here. Okay. Let's put Allie here. So this is your new circle. Gemma's left your circle, and now you have her underneath of you as a breakaway. It's called a breakaway executive. So Gemma's your breakaway executive. You now get, because you are an executive and because she is your breakaway executive, you now get shares in a bonus leadership pool, which is kind of cool. And you get to qualify for kind of cool trips. But you also get to have 5% on her downline. So you've duplicated your work. You're still working on your circle, but you also get paid on her circle and to grow Gemma. So that's kind of cool. But it gets cooler. Let's say Allie breaks away and Allie has people under her and she becomes executive. Now you're a lapis. And when you become a lapis, you get to have you have 2 legs underneath of you, 2 to 3 legs. But now you get paid not just 1 level, but 2 levels. So let's say Allie's person becomes executive. You make off of Allie and the person below her. And this is where the money starts to get really cool, because you can make that 5% and it can grow each level as you go down. And it can grow, yeah, it's almost mind-blowing. When you become diamond, you can be paid down 6 levels. So it's pretty, that's my dream one day. And I hope it's your dream too. Okay, so we've talked about why you want to become executive, the money. We've talked about the requirements to get there, how you need to have 250 points while you're starting in personal sales and 1,000 total in group sales as you're starting. And then later on, you want to work that up to 2,000 and 500 as personal. Okay, and then we talked about after executive, the point, you become executive, and the point is to duplicate yourself and to make other executives in your business. And that's the exciting part, so to see businesses grow. Cool, do we have any questions? If you have any questions, leave a comment in our Facebook group or on our page. Let us know. Thank you.